I worked in retail for the last 2 years and I would never go back again. Here's why. So picture this, it's 4 in the morning, your alarm clock's going off, and you're just laying there with your eyes open, dreading what's about to come. So you jump out of bed, brush your teeth, have a quick shower, no time for food. I mean, who's even hungry at that time? And then it's in the car and off you go to the place you really don't want to be. So you pull up in the car park a few minutes early just so you can brace for what's about to come. You look at the building, you switch off your emotions, you jump out your car, and you walk in the workplace and you become someone who isn't really you. So once you arrive, there's no time wasted at all. 5 o'clock on the dot, you're told which part of the store you're working, and immediately you're working pallets the way up to a ton each, and you're given unrealistic expectation times to work them. And I think you can all guess why we always had such few staff on every single shift. It was so the company could maximise its profits and so they can continue to work their staff to death every single day. The longer you work there, the worse it is, because our bodies are not designed to work at the pace that some of these companies want us to work. And that is just a fact. I mean, I was only there for 2 years, and even I can feel a slight discomfort in my back now. It's like I can tell that it's done a little bit of damage. And the people that have been working there for years and years, I can't imagine the damage it's going to do to their bodies. But these people don't care. All they see is the numbers, maximum profit. Don't worry about the staff. They're the only, they're the ones keeping the business going. So who cares about them, right? It was fairly common for people to work 10-hour shifts. And what made it even worse, you didn't get a lunch hour. Nope. Didn't get 45 minutes. You got half an hour. That's right. 10-hour shift. You got a half an hour lunch break to just scoff your face as quickly as you can and knock back a drink. And then it was straight back at it. 9.5 hours of working stock, non-stop. I talked about the physical side of it, but mentally as well. We're just not designed to be doing this. We weren't made to do this. Something really has to change because this can't go on forever. These big companies cannot treat us like this. We've all got feelings, we've all got friends, we've all got family, but I don't know what it's going to take to change things. I really don't. I'm just going to touch upon the afternoon and evening shifts quickly because there's less to talk about. Admittedly, they weren't so bad. All the morning staff had been worked to death. The replen was usually done by about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then it was just tidy in the store. Minimal staff, of course, that is what it is. And then, we go home at 10, go to bed, repeat, do all over again. But now I want to talk about my personal experience. So all I'm going to say about my role is I was a manager. I wasn't the store manager, and that's all I'm going to say. But for the first 3 months, I was at one store, and it all seemed to be going okay. I had some good feedback. I passed my probation period. No issues. It was all fine. So after that 3 months, I went to another store. I was a little bit nervous because I just passed my probation. I was going over as a manager. So I knew there was expectation there. So I went there and everything seemed fine for 6 months. Wasn't really any issues at all for 6 months. I kept improving. Yes, I did make little mistakes here and there, but that's perfectly normal. And I always said, if I do make mistakes, call me up on it because I'm a quick learner. I learn from them and then I won't make that mistake again, which was fine. In fact, I hardly had anything bad fed back to me. It was just about all positive. But then after 6 months, something changed. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was gossip. I guess I will never know. But I was all of a sudden getting called into the office about every little thing. Things that don't matter, things that aren't important, but someone wanted me out of there. And again, I can't say why or what their motivation was to do this. but clearly someone wanted me gone. And this is when my mental health really started to take a turn for the worse. I was ready to walk away. I was ready to step down from my role, but I just carried on and on and on, barely carrying on. But then I had some news. I was being transferred back to my other store. This wasn't from the store manager. This was from the area manager. So this came at the perfect time. This transfer, if it waited any longer, I may not have been with the company anymore anyway. So it all seemed to time itself perfectly. Not long before I left this store, I moved home. I had 1 week's notice to give to the other managers about getting a shift swap just so I could move home. Not a big deal, right? I mean, I'd done it for other managers before. But when I asked, crickets. No help. So I had to go into work on the day I was moving home. And if you think that's bad, I had a message from another manager higher up. They didn't think my head was in it today. What were they expecting? All that was on my mind is that I was moving home. I know I need that shift swap because it would have been very difficult to work and move home on the same day. And then they had the cheek to send that message. And then when I came back to work a couple of days later, I got a warning. It's unbelievable. Just no one's your friend at work. That's all I can really say to that. So I went back to this first store I started at, and this was honestly music to my ears at the time because I just wanted out of this other store. So as soon as I got back, obviously I'd been at this other store for nearly a year, so I knew I was coming back as a better manager. I gave it my all. The months went on. Really didn't have any complaints at all, just praise. So I knew that there was someone at the other store that had a motivation to get me out of there. Well, I guess they kind of got their wish now, because I don't work there anymore. There wasn't really anything wrong with the last store, to be honest with you. I just had a wake-up call. If I don't make change in my life soon, start my own business. I have had a business before, but unfortunately, it didn't survive COVID. But I looked back at that. I knew I could make it work if I tried again, because I could look back at it with a new, clear mind, learn from the mistakes, and go again. And now I've started that business again, and I'm making more money from it than I ever have done before. Now, I'm not going to boast. I'm not making crazy money. I'm not. I'm just not. But I am making more money than I ever did from it before. And I'm making more money now than what I was when I was at this job. Anyway, the day I woke up, I knew I was almost out of time because reality really set in. I knew if I didn't take action, take control of my life, start my own business, be my own boss, then I would be working for a big company until I'm 70 years old. I would be their slave for the next 40 years. And when I can retire at 70 years old, my body's going to be ruined, my glory years are gone, and then there's just nothing left at that point anyway. There's just not a fair exchange with work anymore. I did put in the title, this is for retail, but this is for anyone who works for a big company. You've got to do something sooner rather than later, because one day, it could be another year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, who knows. But one day, you're going to look back upon your life and think, why did I not do anything? I could have done something, but I didn't because I was a bit nervous. Oh, I don't know if I want to take the risk. Just do it. Just take the risk. Cut your spending back immediately so you can cut your hours at work and start working on a business, because you've got two options: work till you're 70 and you drop, work for yourself and work on your own terms. And I know which option I would pick. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. This is my longest video yet, and I have put a lot of thought into this. So any feedback will be greatly appreciated. And if you have made it to the end, I really appreciate your time, and I will see you all in the next video.